Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Hako, episode number 23 reaction. So the previous episode we have what was her name? Ayame, yeah. Forgot her name. We have Ayame trying to act as the matchmaker between Taiki and Hina, and Chinatsu and this other dude who comes from abroad in the basketball team. Now, obviously, the misunderstanding was because Karen kind of told her that, oh, she, so that she doesn't get involved in this. Karen told her that, oh, yeah, Chinatsu likes someone who's like in abroad. She thought that, like, since, she said, like, made a setting like this, and it's abroad, she wouldn't really mess with it. But lo and behold, in such a coincidence, like he immediately like the next day almost came back from abroad and kind thought that, oh, this is probably the person that my sister was talking about. Yeah, now she's trying to get these two couples together, and now we are in like a little training camp where she's probably going to try something. In the end, we have the whole King's Game thing card version where she tried to kind of like mess things up a little bit. Uh, but yeah, it didn't work because Nishida just shuffled the whole damn deck. Anyways, let's see what happens. Yeah, what other things that she tries to pull. Yeah, let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Declare your love to your loved ones. Here we go. Let's see how Taiki dodges this. The faces. Well, wow. Damn. Thank you, Kyo. Bruh. Yeah, Kyo realizes what she's trying to do. Well, nice. Kyo comes in with a clutch. Yeah. Yeah, but he cannot really. Bruh. Yeah, well. Oh boy. Hmm. Damn. The whole milk and the coffee symbolism is like going around his head now. Hmm. Spinning. Oh, okay. She was talking about the whole. Taikis. Yo. Oh boy. Yeah, you're not wrong. He is a morning person. Hmm. Oh, right. Hey. What? Right. Hello? Well, at least it stopped. Well, um, right. Oh. Well, that was a awkward start to the day. Hey! Damn. Well, I guess that happens. You're literally sweating. Oh, that that looks good, bro. Elegant. Well, this is. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. Yeah. All right. Let's just. Hmm. Oh, there you go. I. Damn. Oh. Oh well. Did he bump someone? Oh yeah. The sweat. He slipped on his sweat. Damn. Just one ready. Yeah. Hmm. He's gonna draw something. Wait, what? Inota? Because yeah, I was gonna say. Right. Well. Yacho first observation. Hmm. Oh. Well, she's like this. Mhm. Fan? But yeah. Well, he has no idea, so you know. Well, our Tyke is pissed. Damn, even oh boy. Calm down, Taiki. Oh wow, he's interesting. Oh, he's looking for Taiki. Damn. Oh, Taiki's not here either. Where is he? Running outside? Probably. Hmm. Nah, I think he's training or something like. Yep, there you go. He's running. Damn. Oh, he got one. Hmm. What are you used to rinse off your? Hmm. Yeah, he's right. The more days are gone. Hmm. Oh my god. Um. What the? Is he in delusion mode now? Right. He's just thinking. Okay. So. Hmm. Like, I guess it started like that. Look, I'll talk about it later. Having a swing on measurements. Hmm. Hmm. No, there she is. Ah! Yeah. What? Wow. Even the old lady's like, what the hell? Yeah. Wait, she's. Damn. Hmm. Right. Well, she's not wrong. Damn, the wind suddenly. Oh boy. What? Oh, okay. That right. Blue. Hmm. So what? I was gonna say she's there at night. Damn. Hmm. Damn. uh, okay, I love how she just came to that conclusion, even though. Yeah, the balance, you know. Yeah. Ah. Right. Right. I was gonna say it's half true, I think, because obviously, yes, yeah, it'll help train. Oh, okay. Okay, well, quite late. Yeah, because yeah, they already contacted the. Oh, okay. Mm, yeah, but at the same time, nothing happened as well. So, yeah, I guess mentally there was a lot of changes. Like he understood and came to okay. Attack. He's like, damn, this is why we need a manager. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I was gonna say, are you sure about that? Yeah. Oh boy. Mm. Mm. Oh boy, if you knew about it, the drama that is going on. Fishy one. Right. She yeah. Like she feels like she herself told him not to, but now she probably feels like, oh, should I? Hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say she's not gonna. Hmm. Yep. Like she knows that she's at a huge disadvantage, so she's like, yeah, I'm not gonna push him or anything. She's, like, because as soon as Taiki makes a decision, she knows unless and until he actually likes her properly, the answer will always be the same. That is rejection. So yeah, and I have to say, her, like, this plan that she made is actually pretty damn good. Like I said this in the very beginning, and when on the day she confessed, I was like, this is actually like something that that's actually, like, like a very good, like, she's like, oh yeah, like, when I told you my feelings, you don't have to answer me. And yeah, like, she's basically giving him a way out, like, in case Chinatsu's, like, and that's how much, I guess you could say, she is determined to win Taiki's love, that she doesn't care even if she's the second choice. But like, she's keeping the whole, like, like, path open, that in case Taiki gets rejected by Chinatsu, or Taiki never confesses his feeling, he has another path to go on. And she knows that, yeah, that will still make her Taiki's second choice, but she doesn't care. She's like, yeah, I'm fine with it. Like, the ending is all that matters. And yeah, I really respect her for that. Okay, that's it. Like, because she knows that she is still, at least still, not in the same league as Chinatsu in Taiki's eyes, obviously, but she just made sure that Taiki had like, she like confessed, made sure that Taiki at least thinks about her in that sense, making it so that the feelings for that Taiki has for Hina, which is pure friendship, at least changes and mutates into something else. Not only did confessing like open up that path, but at the same time it also gave Taiki like a way. Like I said, like if by any chance Chinatsu rejects him, number one, number two, which obviously is not going to happen, we know that, but still, like just in case scenario, if Chinatsu rejects him, number one, number two, if Taiki never ends up confessing his feelings to Chinatsu, number three, if Chinatsu never ends up confessing her feelings for Taiki, and they drift apart by the end of it, like like the term ends, and like Chinatsu leaves, and like yeah, they drift apart. In that case, that Taiki has like like a path, like which is basically Hina, like Hina's path, which she kept it open, and that's why she's like, because if she tells Taiki that, oh, you give me an answer, currently Taiki's definitely going to reject her. She knows that. That's why she's like, no, I'm not going to push for an answer unless and until like if by any miracle he actually starts liking me. Unless and until that happens, he himself will tell me. I won't have to tell him because I've done my part. I've kept the whole path open. And yeah, so that's basically Hina's logic here, which is something that I feel like I don't think I've seen any character do before in any other show. I don't think this whole thing has ever been done before. Has it? I don't remember. It's been a lot. I've watched a lot of shows. A lot of shows I've also forgotten. So maybe there's one or two, but I feel like this is like the first time I've seen any side character. Not really a side character. Not really a side character. You could say the main supporting character. Like a supporting character. I've never seen a supporting character go in this way. In this path. Like, and yeah, there you go. And the fact that she knows that, yeah, she's never going to be that person, at least not now, like that realization, and still like like I have to respect that. Like she knows that, yeah, she's at least not in that stage, but in case something changes, and in case Taiki like accepts her confession, she made sure that she has kept all the roads open for that. And there you go. That is that. Like here's the thing, like I've heard a lot of people, like mostly like like people who probably have read the manga and know what's going to happen or whatever. I've seen a lot of people say that, yeah, like Chinatsu is obviously the better choice here because Taiki himself likes him, Chinatsu also likes him eventually. Like yeah, all that I can understand obviously, but I will have to applaud Hina for what she has done up until now for the show, because I don't know, she's probably the only character who's keeping the show moving. Otherwise, these two, Taiki and Chinatsu, if Hina wasn't here in this show, I'm 100% sure they probably would never have realized anything. Like Taiki knows his feelings, but he never would have acted on it. Chinatsu probably would never realize her feelings up until the very end, because it only started when she realized that, oh, there's a possibility Hina likes Chinatsu. And it kind of like accelerated when she got to know that Hina actually confessed to Taiki. None of this would have happened if not for Hina. So in that way, I have like the utmost respect for Hina for what she has done for this show. At least, like, good lord, she single-handedly is keeping the progression going. At least, like, good lord, like, yeah. And I doubt it would have been like, what is this, like the 23rd episode, I think. Yeah, I doubt the whole progression of this show would have been this quick if not for Hina. This probably would be some other show. Let me think of another show which takes too damn long to progress. Which show? I don't know. I cannot. It's not really coming to my head. But like those shows which takes like 3 or 4 seasons for at least them to kind of like confess or anything. I think like yeah, look, we're reaching the stage where Taiki will probably realize like his true feelings and confess to Chinatsu or something. I don't know. Or maybe it'll be Chinatsu. I'm not really sure who will confess to who, but like what's going to happen. But I think we're coming to that stage. Even if not in this season, maybe next season. By like the middle of it, like yeah, I'm pretty sure the confession will happen. Either the end of this season, or like next season mid part, something like that maybe. I don't know. So yeah, it probably wouldn't be that quick if not for Hina. So there you go. Right. Like I know she's not going to win. Obviously, she in no way is she winning this. Uh, but yeah, I can respect her for her efforts. You could say. Anyways, that is that. And yeah. Now, a few other things to talk about here. First and foremost, we have Taiki, I guess you could say, realizing more of the fact that he actually liked Chinatsu, because he says one thing in today's episode which kind of struck, I think, in his heart, which is true love is more instinctual. I think that's what he said in one of the lines. I cannot remember. Something along those lines. He said, which obviously means that he says that even though he has, like, he's kind of confused who he likes, like he's starting to like Hina, he's starting to like Chinatsu. He always liked Chinatsu. He's trying to like Hina, even though those are kind of more like, like kind of obstructing his view of realizing who he truly likes. He said here that true love is more like it hits in the instinct, like from your instinct you realize, like, oh, like yeah, something is like, like I need to do something, which is something that he only feels for Chinatsu, you could say. That is why, as we see here, he actually goes off to find Chinatsu, not find, but kind of go and meet her midway while on the run, that whole section. And he kind of, I don't know, he's kind of says, like, in the over there, that, oh, if this was Hina, I probably would have went as well. You know yeah, but right, I do wonder if it would have been this instinctual, like, because for Chinatsu it was like, oh, I need to go, like that. He probably would have done the same for Hina as well, but would it come from his instincts? Anyways, yeah. So like I said, I feel like the way the whole like, like thing is, like, moving forward. I feel like it's just a matter of time. He'll probably make a decision. You know. Anyways, also another thing. I mean, didn't really do anything today. I was expecting her to, like, mess everything up or something like that. Like try to. She did literally nothing today. I was like, okay, that's interesting. She was, like, observing them, though. You could see, like, she was, like, observing when Hina comes in. She was observing Hina when Taiki, like, and oh, the Chinasu and that guy, when they were, like, talking to each other, she was like, these two are perfect for each other, like, kind of monologuing in her head. She did those, but she didn't really do anything else, like, try to, like, actively, like, do something. Maybe she'll, like, do something in the next episode. I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure he will try to pull something. Don't know exactly what, but, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I really didn't do anything today. Okay. Now, other than that, a few things happen here. Like I said, the first thing, like, the big thing which I want to talk about was the whole instinct thing, when Taiki said, like, and it seems like he's more and more realizing where his true feelings lie. That's number one. Number two was Taiki getting pissed off when that guy, what's his name? I forgot his name. Like, when he's like, no, you're a fan of him. You're a fan of Chinatsu? Oh, God. Yeah, you cannot really blame him. He has no clue. He's like, oh, like, what's the first year doing here? And that too in the badminton team. Like, he was like, oh, must be a fan. Oh, no. And, yeah, and the thing is, like, like, the fact that he told this to Taiki is the reason why Taiki got so pissed. Like, it's like, really? Me? You're talking to me? Like, obviously he cannot say that. In his head, he's like, how dare you? What? And he's like, I hate this guy. Yeah, but obviously he's clueless. He has no clue. He's just like, oh, like, yeah. Anyways, that's that. Now, there's another thing that Taiki was talking about. Another main focus of today's episode is admiration. So Taiki talks about when, like, when the dude was like, oh, like, like, there's a lot of people who admire her. You must be one of those, right? Something like that. He said. Here, this kind of strikes Taiki, and Taiki kind of thinks about whether his feelings for Chinatsu is mere admiration or something. But by the end of it, he comes to the understanding that yeah, it is definitely admiration, but obviously that is not it. It is because of admiration that he actually wants to be with her and like go out with her. So admiration is, I guess you could say, was something that started everything within him, and then it changed. Basically that, you know like yeah. So yeah, it's not wrong to admire, like like yeah, like it's pretty normal. Like I'm like he himself realizes that the feelings that he has for Chinatsu currently is the result of his admiration for her. Because the first thing I remember in the first episode, what he said was that, oh, I something about like admire Chinatsu because like the fact that number one, she like it's always there over there practicing every single day, like and Chinatsu's like motivation and everything is also something that made him start badminton. So his whole love for badminton, you could say, is also something that started from someone else. Like Chinatsu, like looking at her and kind of observing her and seeing her. So that admiration, when they came in contact with each other, when they started staying with each other, that admiration little by little transformed into something genuine, like true, like affection, you could say, which is at that stage. So Taiki at the beginning was thinking like, is this just admiration? But by the end of it, he comes to the realization himself that yeah, it might have been admiration, it still is probably, but that is not all. There's also genuine feelings along with it, So yeah. Okay. Now, like this is the thing. Like I have said this before, I feel like that is probably what makes this show a lot more, I guess you could say, interesting, is the fact that we don't genuinely understand what Chinatsu is feeling half of the time. Like her face is so like, I don't know what to call it, like so like stoic, you could say, that you genuinely don't understand what she's thinking. Today's episode, as you can see, Taiki, when he was looking at Chinatsu, when Chinatsu was looking outside in the car, the moon was falling on her face, the moonlight. Taiki was like, I genuinely have no idea what she's thinking, and I was like, same. Like, what is going through her head? What she's thinking? I'm pretty sure she was thinking something, definitely something about the moon. Number one, number two, about Taiki as well. But we don't know actually. It's a very interesting thing because I feel like usually it's pretty easy to understand what the other person is feeling, especially in rom-coms. It's pretty damn obvious. Because the male or the female characters like make such facial expressions, like that is pretty damn obvious. And the thing that makes it more mysterious here, at least, is the fact that Chinatsu literally shows nothing on her face. Nothing. That is why even up until the very end, like it was literally like in the previous episode, I think, or was it the episode before that? I had genuinely no clue whether Chinatsu actually likes Taiki or not. And then when she actually tells Karen that, oh yeah, I actually like him, that is the only time I realized that, oh yeah, okay, so yeah, she genuinely understands her own feelings. I had no clue up until that point what she's thinking, because her face it's the poker face. You don't understand anything. And I feel like we've just gotten so used to anime characters showing everything on their face. Is like, like for example, in like maybe like just like one rom-com where like obviously we're following the guy's perspective. When the guy says something to the girl, like they like start blushing, they make weird facial expressions, and that's when we realize like, oh yeah, this person also likes this person. It's a two-way, like a thing, so both the parties present here like each other. It's obvious. Every single rom-com, that's what happens. Here, this is the only show I've seen where the female lead, literally nothing. You couldn't understand what she's thinking, what type of feelings she has for Taiki, up until the point where she actually reveals it in the previous or the episode before that. So yeah, that's kind of makes it more interesting, where you're always like, like, okay, what the hell is she thinking? And Taiki is also like, yeah, I have no idea what she's thinking. And you can see that Chinatsu is just looking at the moon outside. And yeah, poker face completely. Also that part where you can see Taiki was like, trying to move away, and Chinatsu says, oh, good night. They start moving. Suddenly Taiki realizes that Chinatsu has stopped. So So a few moments later, Taiki also stops, looks back, and sees Chinasu moving again. So I'm pretty sure Chinasu stopped there and probably looked at Taiki, and something happened, which we didn't get to see. Again, we are seeing everything from Taiki's perspective. So we are also clueless as to what she was doing then. Why did she stop? What was she doing? Did she just stop? Which was she looking back? Was she like like making some kind of, I don't know, like facial expression? What was she doing there? We don't know. And yeah, so we're as clueless as Taiki because so there you go. That is another part where we have no idea what the hell happened. She stopped there for a moment and then she just resumed walking. I'm pretty sure she was like looking back and looking at Taiki, but yeah, but we don't know. We don't see what happens. Um, okay. Now, other than that, what else happened today? Oh, that section as well, where you can see when Chinasu, like was carrying that old lady, and throughout that whole like journey, that little section that Taiki was going, he was thinking in his head what he feels about Chinatsu, about how he has started seeing Hina as also like a potential, like a potential like his feelings started changing a little bit, at least about Hina, and how that happened. All that stuff he was thinking in his head. And then when he meets up with Chinatsu, and Chinatsu's just talking to that lady, and she's like smiling and everything. Suddenly the wind starts blowing, and Taiki here kind of sits like just stands there still, and I think he says something like, he kind of smiles, and then he says like, I like what I like. I think that's what he says. I like the blue color. I like cola. I think that's what he says. Where's that part? There we go. I like the color blue. I like cola. I know these things. So I guess this was like up until that point he was thinking about whether his like feelings for Chinasu's admiration or something. But I guess this is probably the section which makes him realize that no, I know what I like. I like blue color. I like cola, and similarly, you know, I like Chinasu as well. And there's no um there's nothing else to it. Yeah, there's probably admiration along with it, but I know that I like her, and I don't have to question my own feelings, because he was doing that for a moment. You could see, while he was running. I don't know, maybe that's what he was trying to tell here. I'm not 100% sure, but but I think that's what he was trying to kind of like this part of the episode was trying to convey to us as an audience. At least that's how I saw it. I might be wrong, but I think that's what he was. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. And was there anything else today? No. I talked about the whole Hina section. I talked about Taiki's feelings, like his like thinking about admiration. I talked about that as well. I talked about Taiki realizing, his feelings for Chinatsu is true. That what else was there? I think that's it. Yeah, and a little bit about Ayame, obviously, which is like I said, Ayame didn't really do anything today, but there were a few sections where she was kind of like, for example, the first section where she was like, serving everyone like food and everything. Not only that, there was that section where she was like cheering up the guys, and and everyone's like, don't misunderstand. She does this to everyone. She doesn't mean anything by it. Yeah. Oh, I forgot the main thing. Oh my god. God damn it. I forgot the main thing to talk about the main thing, which was the first section where they were in a pinch. Like Taiki was in a pinch where it was written that who do you like? And Kyo kind of backs him up. Kyo was like, oh, he likes Yusa, because even when he was dreaming, he was talking about Yusa. And they were kind of joking around about the whole thing, and Kyo was like, so Ayame's rival here is him. That part. And you can see he realized what Ayame was trying to doing, and he was like staring at Ayame, you could see. Yeah. So yeah, I forgot to mention that part completely. Anyways, that was very nice of Kyo, because he knew that he could just say something random, but he knows that it is a question which actually is a question that he himself is struggling with, so he's pretty damn serious about that question, which is, written there. Because you can see he himself is like, oh, who do I like? Oh, like, like kind of going around and around about the. So he, having that question in front of him, he couldn't really give like, like a proper answer there, because that question in itself is something that he asks himself every day. So Kyo knew that this is probably going to make Taiki struggle. So let me just back him up. So he did that. And there you go. Yeah. Right, I forgot to talk about that. Anyways, now that I think I've talked about most of the stuff. Oh yeah, what I was talking about at Ayame, yeah, right. So when Ayame was like, like kind of cheering them up and everything, everyone was like, yeah, like don't, it's not really that serious. Like, she doesn't mean any of this. And even Taiki was like, what the hell is going on here? Oh boy. But yeah, and I have to say, I really like, like respect the fact that I'm is actually like doing her, like what she's supposed to do. Like, she's like helping out everyone, genuinely like acting as a man. I genuinely thought she was going to be this like, person who, at the first very beginning, she herself said that, oh, I'm here for Yusa. So I actually thought she's going to slack off or everything, since Yusa's not here. She's just going to be one of those characters who would be like, just not do her job, just like, like slack off, like, like just not do her duties and everything. Uh, she's genuinely doing everything. I didn't expect that, actually, So yeah, I'm like, bruh, you're actually doing something. That's great. Because yeah, like these type of characters in other shows as we've seen, they literally just slack off. Like I've seen so many shows where a certain character comes and becomes like a man or something, like this certain scenario happens, and when they realize they're not really going to get what they wanted, they just start just, like slacking off and not doing their duty seriously. And yeah, but you know what, good for her. She's actually like helping everyone out, like genuinely trying to help. She's like giving the motivation to other people, even though that's kind of like, being counterproductive in the long run, you could say, because a lot of people might get feelings for her, which is going to make the whole situation even more terrible. Like, can you imagine? Oh my god, in the same club room, if like two or more people starts liking her, they would, oh god, yeah, it'll be another whole drama, I feel like. But yeah, she's genuinely trying, I guess. That's nice. Right. Anyways, okay, alright, enough about that. That was my overall impressions of today's episode. Now let me see if I missed anything. Let me talk about this episode scene by scene. I think I've covered most of the things, but let me just see if there's something I need to cover, some extra stuff. The first scene was, the whole section where Kyo helps out Taiki with the, like we're saying like, oh, it's Yusa, and like kind of making like a whole, like, like joke about the whole situation and being like, like, Ayame's rival is actually Taiki, and and Ayame's like, oh, I'm not going to lose, Taha. Oh boy. Yeah, and there you go. That is that. Taiki asks, like, tells Kyo that, oh, thanks for the help, and Kyo's like, don't worry, like, yeah, I know. Right. And then while in bed, Taiki was thinking about, like, the whole situation with him and Hina, and like all that things. He's like, I now understand what Ayame said. Like, when Ayame said that, oh, if someone likes you, like, yeah, why don't you go out with them? And in his head, the whole like milk and the coffee part, spinning that part. He's like, yeah, thinking about that. Like Hina's feelings for Hina, feelings for Chinasu, like kind of mixing together. Anyways, next day, Taiki's back to form again. He's ready to train, but he realizes that Hina has missed the back, so he follows Hina's, like the vehicle, gives Hina the thing, makes eye contact with her, and leaves. Oh my god, yeah. And then we are back to the training again. Taiki's like, doing the badminton. He falls on his sweat, slips on his sweat, falls down. And then next we get to see he's eating. Everyone's eating. They're actually having really good food, which makes sense. Obviously, these like it's a training camp. They're doing a lot of training. Their bodies are developing, obviously, so they need food to kind of compensate the amount of training that they're doing. So they have some really good food, some what do you call them? Katsu, right? Chicken katsu, yeah, chicken katsu, some karage, miso soup, I think, a few other stuff I can see here, like a stir fry, like a stir vegetable fry. I think there's also that. Right. And Nishida takes one of Taiki's katsu, chicken katsu, or is it like some other katsu? I'm not sure if that's chicken katsu. Anyways, and then yeah, there's a little bit of a thing going, and these people are like just trying acting like friends, like those type of friends who you mess around with and everything. While Ayame comes and tells them that, oh, look at the other group. In the basketball group is all elegant and everything. They're like, oh, like everyone's like eating their own food, like having a nice time. And Nishida's like getting pissed off looking at that dude. He's like these are the type of guys that I hate, and while what's his name? Hariu is like, oh no, I like him because he helps me out with my games and stuff. Either way, that's that. And then we have Taiki and Chinasu kind of bump into each other on the corridor, and Taiki was like going to leave, but Chinasu stops him, and Chinasu's like, oh, your hand. So it was when he fell down. So like Chinasu gives him a band-aid and does a little like a little scribble there, like a doodle, writing I think like good luck or something like that, like fight, oh, and a little boar face, and Taki's like, what the hell is this? And he's like, oh, it's a boar, Inota, because his name is, what, I love the fact, I don't know, Inota's such a great nickname. It's just something so cute and endearing about the name Inota. It's short and sweet, but it has, I don't know, it has something that is very pleasant to hear in the ears, like Inota. I don't know what it is, but I think that's like one of the best nicknames I've ever heard of a character. Like like from Inomata to Inota. Inota. It's short, it's sweet, and it's I don't know. It's kind of cute, that name. It's like my favorite nickname in the whole, like in any type of show. I feel like this is the first time I've thought about it. But yeah, this nickname is just so perfect. Right. Anyways, and I like the fact that this is actually like becoming his nickname. Even Chinatsu's calling him Inota sometimes. Oh boy, that's funny. Anyways, then like they move on. Taiki sees like her, like meeting up with her friends. Yeah. At night, we see that Chinatsu has went off to do a solo run and everything. I was actually expecting this guy to go along with Chinatsu, but he didn't, which I guess, yeah, okay. And then he comes and he talks to Taiki, and he's like, oh, you're her friend, you're her fan. And again, in his defense, he has no idea, like he came here like very recently, and to him he's like, oh, a random first year from a badminton team is here, so he must be her fan. So yeah, anyways, the main thing about this whole scene was the fact when he said that, oh, like a lot of people admire Chinasu. This is one thing that kind of resonated in Taiki, and it kind of stuck in his head, which we get to see later on. He thinks about it. Anyways, Taiki's pissed here. Taiki's like, in his head, he's like, who do you think you are? Like a fan of me, Anyways, he's like, I hate this dude, and yeah, then he just goes off to do his own solo run. Hina's trying to find Taiki, but Taiki's obviously not there. So Taiki's like moving, and he's like, oh, I'm not really here because of China, so I just want to take a run. It's just a coincidence that I'm trying to justify his actions. Okay. And then he tries to say in his head, he's like, oh, if this was Hina, I would have come here as well. But like I said, he talks about instincts, how true love is more instincts, instead of like proper logic and thought. So this is more like instinctual. He's moving through instincts, and that's why he's going for Chinatsu. And he's thinking, I'm sure this is the same I would have done for Hina, but I do doubt that. I don't know. He probably would have done the same thing, but it wouldn't come from his instincts. That's the thing. I think that is what we have to take away from this whole section, the whole instinct conversation. Anyways, he also talks about a few things here, like a few symbolisms here. Um, okay, I'm going to read this part because this part is kind of interesting. So he's running and he says, I know that I have to think about a lot of things. I need to think about. Then he says, okay, but the more I think about them, the less sure I am that they're my own thoughts. Yeah, because a lot of people has told him a lot of things. Like Kyo told him about here the whole 30% thing. We have the new dude kind of talk about the whole admiration thing, which we get to see. That is also someone else's. So he's like, are these actually my feelings, or like it's like something that gets getting mixed with my own feelings? Here we go. The first thing is like that Kyo told him, like the water you use to rinse off your brush. Oh, what's her name? IMA's statement as well. If someone says they like me, of course I'd go out with them. That is another thing that he's like thinking about. Or like when you mix up all the drinks from the soda fountain. Yeah, so it's like getting mixed in his own feelings, so he's unable to differentiate what he feels and what other people has told him, and how he's kind of mixing that up with his own feelings. So his true feelings he's trying to kind of understand, and I guess in the end that's what he comes to a realization when he says that, oh, I like the color blue, I like cola, I like what I like, so these are the things that I like. So even if like a lot of people have told me a lot of things about, for example, Kyo told me about the 30%, Ame told me about this new guy told me about the whole admiration thing, all of these things, these are something that other people have told me and has just mixed in with it. So instead of thinking about all of them, to properly understand my own feelings, I have to differentiate and understand what I like. So I like what I like blue, I like cola, and I like Chinatsu. That's the main thing. There you go. Admire one of the players. That whole statement as well is ringing in his head. He says, but I think love feels more intuitive than that. Yeah, from intuition. Yeah. Speaking of feelings, now he thinks about Hina. I think I'm starting to see Hina as a girl. Yeah, and it started from the day when she confessed, as he says. And he says and the more and more I'm looking at her as a girl, more and more as I keep stalling the whole response, the more and more, yeah, the more the day pass, it's getting harder for me to give her an answer. Anyways, he's thinking about all of that, and then he suddenly sees apparently bears come out at night here, and he gets thinking like, oh no, if Chinatsu's in danger or something, so he starts trying to find Chinatsu again. Yeah, and this is where he talks about admiration as well in his head. Yeah, where it started as an admiration, but obviously that is not all. Anyways, he bumps into Chinatsu, and with the old lady, and yeah, and this is where when Chinatsu puts the old lady down and talking to her, this is where he looks at Chinatsu and realizes that, oh, you know what? Yeah, why am I just making this so overly complicated? Just mixing up all the other people's, their thoughts into my own feelings. Yeah, those are necessary, obviously, but I have to make sure that I kind of distinguish my own feelings from that as well. Think about what other people has told me, try to understand my own feelings, but at the same time, not forget, the main essence of, what it is. Instead of just mixing up all the colors together, I need to make sure that the true color that I had in my heart, I separate it someplace and make sure that that is distinct. And that is my feelings for Chinatsu. That is, I like her, and yeah, so I like cola, I like blue color, and obviously he doesn't say I like Chinatsu, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Yeah, so instead of just mixing up everyone's statements with his own feelings, kind of making it difficult to understand or realize his true feelings, he's like, I know what I know, I like what I like, and that is important here. I need to make sure I don't let go of that and don't forget that, because yeah, a lot of people's statements might converge, mix together with my own feelings, and make it hard to um, figure out, what I felt for Chinas in the very first place. This kind of happens, when you start with something very simple, like a goal or something, and then as you keep going more and more and more, you start losing sight of where you started and what thought about at the very beginning, and that is when things go wrong. You completely lose the plot of why you started this, and you just start branching into something and completely forgot the true feeling that when you started it. It happens most of the time, and for most of the people, especially when it's something that you are genuinely passionate about. For example, a lot of people who, let's just say content creators, who start doing something that they genuinely like, and then as they grow more and more in popularity, they become more and more business based, and money, that type of thing, and they forget the fact that I started this because I genuinely liked it, so that kind of thing, the realization that where I started, where I come from, that kind of thing. People lose the plot most of the time, and Taiki realizes that I shouldn't do that here. I need to be sure that, yeah, this is what I felt for her at the beginning, and this is unchanging. Yeah, and I need to remember that, and this scene probably made him understand that, you know yeah. Anyways, then they go back, and the old lady kind of mistakes them for, going out with each other. And anyways, Taiki's like, oh, no, 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 no. But then he's realized, thinking that, wait a minute, why am I trying to be so, like, why am I denying it so much? Chiyasu might kind of be offended by it, right? So he's like, where should I keep the balance here? Anyways, enough of that. They then, the old man tells them that, oh, let me take you guys back. And, in the car, Taiki looks at Chinasu, and Chinasu just looking outside at the moon. And Taiki's like, I have no idea what this girl is thinking, but I do like her. Anyways, they move forward. Taiki goes back, and like I said, Chance kind of stopped here, but Taiki looked back, and then Chance started moving again. So that's another thing. Taiki goes to sleep. Next day we have Ayame motivating other people, and other people being like, "Damn, this girl is dangerous." Right. Yeah, Ayame also says that out of everyone here, Taiki has the best form, and he looks the most beautiful while he's playing. Yeah, but not enough to beat Yusa, obviously. In the end, she says that. Anyways, Hina comes in, and then Hina and Taiki look at each other, and Taiki kind of jokes around with Hina, and Hina gets embarrassed. Right. Yeah, and this is where you can see Hina's friend. What's her name? Natsu, right? Or was it Wait, Nagisa was Chinasu's friend, right? Yeah, Chinasu's friend is Nagisa, and Hina's friend is Natsu. I think I'm kind of mixing it up. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, so she says that, oh, why don't you ask for the an answer to the question, to a confession. The whole bonfire legend and everything is it's like appropriate time. At which Hina says like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to I'm not going to push him for an answer. And yeah, unless and until he actually starts liking me and he confesses back and he accepts it, or obviously he can reject me as well. But before that, I'm not going to push him for an answer, because if I do that, obviously he knows that she's going to get rejected. Right. Anyways, that's where it ended. So yeah, great episode. Yeah, I think we're coming closer and closer to Taiki's decision, I guess you could say. I don't know when that's going to happen. Maybe at the end of this season, maybe next season. We'll see. But I feel like at the rate this is going, it'll probably be this season. I don't know, maybe the very final episode. We'll see. Anyways, that is it. That was my reaction to episode number 23 of Hako. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below. Anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Hako. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.